Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another show of Inside Sports Talk with your one and only Johanna-Rosalye and my wonderful co-host PLR. How are you?
What's going on? How are you today?
I'm great. Getting moving. A little slow today. But good. How are you?
I am good. Just ready for these 195-degree days to start.
Yeah.
That is it. I can't stand this crap.
So, what can you do?
But baseball is back. Basketball is back and in trouble. Football is back and not pretending. So, there you go.
Yes, happy baseball day.
Yeah.
So they start recording today. Woohoo! So excited.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this works out.
I am. So we, just as everybody knows, we heard and the news is there. MLB is back, and we have players that started opting out. And we have a few. One of them is Mike Leake from the Arizona Diamondbacks. We have a Rockies, I believe, player that also opted out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put up the list
now. Zimmerman, you got Ian Desmond, you got some players that are deciding not to do this.
Yeah. So these are, not huge name players, but these players. They're still, you recognize them. You know who they are. So this has started. We'll see how much we have. 3 more weeks before the season starts, and it's summer camp right now. And there's that worry that it's going to be now a trickle effect, and how many more are going to be opting out, how the teams are going to be affected. It's not, it probably might not be looking good. I know, like the Diamondbacks, they're when we had there was the big conference or the interview with Troy Lovello, and he was saying, he's confident, they're going to be able to get through the season. That not and many players, if any, would be opting out, and now it's a different story, and that's happening. Nick Ahmed said that seems like there's some concern with some players, even though it wasn't said exactly who those would be, of coming back and playing, and returning to play. And then are we going to start seeing as players start testing positive? Because we heard now from MLB that they won't be divulging which players, if they do test positive for the virus, that they won't be divulging the names of those players due to HIPAA law, unless the players consent.
Right.
And then if we have a high amount of players that are tested positive and they're not playing, how the teams are going to be affected. We can have one, two, couple. Maybe it can become, a bigger issue than that, and have maybe an entire team or half the team. And then are we going to start seeing games that are canceled?
Well, okay. I think this is kind of funny, because yes, you have to have. There is HIPAA laws, but HIPAA laws don't. Oh, my morning allergies are killing me. HIPAA law doesn't prevent teams from saying so-and-so's not playing because they have this, or, they have a sprained finger, or they, broke their arm on a snowmobile. So I think it's funny how they're HIPAA lawing this coronavirus. I mean, there's no getting around it. If they're going to cry HIPAA law, they sound like the governor of Florida, where they're trying to hide the fact that players may be coming down with coronavirus. It were really just being honest about it, because they've never HIPAA lawed the flu. They've never HIPAA lawed anything else. So I can understand where the player has to consent. Maybe the player doesn't want anyone to know that they had coronavirus, so maybe this is coming from the players. But if it's not coming from the players, I find that actually kind of funny.
Right. Because for me, the thing that's interesting is like, okay, how are we knowing, NBA and the other sports as players are testing positive, and then we get to learn, okay, this is the player who tested positive, or who has has the virus. We probably may not know it right away, but we eventually know it. But with NBA, there were some players that had tested, a week or days later. Then we find out who it was. Eventually we're going to know. How is MLB going to keep that? And
if someone disappears for 14 days.
Right.
I'm sorry, I said if someone disappears for 14 days, you got to know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was going to be. What I was going to go to is they're going to be, yes, there's that disabled list, if you want to call it, for those that will be playing because they're affected by the virus, and then there's your regular DL. The player's going to be gone for 14 days. They're not going to play. How are you going to hide that? You're going to know. It's inevitable. They're not going to be around the teams because they're going to have to be quarantined or whatever they need to do to get healthy again. What's going to be their cover-up there?
Yep. It's funny. It's just funny. That's all you can say. It's funny.
Mm-hmm. And the thing here, too, is now, let's say a team is affected. They have, let's say they have 5 players that are down. Now they don't. Yes, they do have expanded rosters, but they don't have the minor league to back them up, to bring up players. That's another thing. What happens now? What's going to happen with the minors with not playing? What's going to happen with those players? What's going to happen with their contracts? Like, there's so much there. The minors are, they're a backup to MLB. Mm-hmm. MLB doesn't have a backup. NBA, NFL, they have these expanded rosters. They have all these players that they can go ahead and bring in when the player's down.
But the MLB does have the 60. They do have the 60-man roster, and they are going to have a trade and free agent pickup period as well. So I guess what they're going to do in lieu of playing minor league baseball in 2020 is, I guess the guys that are not active per se will be staying loose and doing things on separate fields. I mean, I know here in Phoenix they're going to have guys at the spring training facility at Salt River Field, as well as Chase Field. So I'm sure the guys that are part of the 60-man and other people that are trying to stay loose are going to have places where they can still practice their craft, not as organized, obviously, as what a true minor league series would be, but I'm sure they'll have a way to get people and get them ready to play. I mean, if there's a 60-man roster, there's really no different than having a minor league team that's just not actively playing the same way. You're not going to have like the Tallahassee Bulldogs versus the Duluth Lumberjacks, but they'll still be actively playing in some way.
Yeah, it's gonna be something that we're gonna see done differently than any other season.
Yeah. Well, where's the July is going to be different than any other July. It's going to be crazy. It's
Yeah.
a different time.
Mhm. So
It's weird.
Gosh, you and I were talking about it. This is going to be, at least for me, it's going to be weird just the way sports are even going to just be covered in general. Not only being played, but just for every, the athletes, the, media, everybody. It's going to be so much different.
Yep. To say the least.
So many changes, so many adjustments.
Yep. It's going to be nuts. Baseball's going to be interesting. Can't wait to see it.
Yes. Counting down the days for opening today. So I'm very, very, very curious, and as we move along, we'll be learning more and more of how they'll be handling, with the rules, the implementation, all the implementations, protocols, safety measures they are putting in place or have put in place, how those are going to follow through, and just managing the entire season. So. And we'll be talking more about it as time goes on as well. Now, NBA, they have proposed, the players have proposed, or it's been proposed that players replace their names with social justice messages on their jerseys. So it hasn't been approved, but, we've seen in other, like in baseball, we'll see, they'll replace their names with maybe like a nickname or something like that. It's just for fun for the fans, whatnot. And we see instances like that. Should we expect to see the NBA approve this? What are your thoughts on this?
We also know the NBA is thinking about doing a Black Lives Matter basketball court. If it's what they want to do and it's something they can do and they have the power to do, then by all means, do it. The difference between basketball and other sports, we're really just going to be honest about this. Basketball is comprised of almost all black athletes. And so the owners of basketball teams realize that they have to show some type of partnership with the players. And if the players are saying this is the way we want to do this, NBA is going to be more apt to have a listening ear. Baseball, you're not going to have that. I mean, in all honesty, I think it's 2%, 3% black Americans playing baseball, so that's out. Football, it doesn't matter what you are. In football, the owners are the owners, and they treat everybody like a commodity that can be replaced. Excuse me, these allergies are killing me this morning. So is it a good idea? I mean, will it bring social awareness? It's great if it's what they want to do. So I say, if it's something that they feel that could have a positive impact while they're on such a large stage, drawing an audience, basically that now that baseball is back, it's just going to be them in baseball, then, I mean, I see no problem with it. I guess, if it's something that they want to move and do, and it's what moves them, then they should definitely, by all means, make it happen if they have the resources to do so.
Yeah, so and from what I've seen, it doesn't seem that NBA is at all like saying no, we don't want to do this, or really fighting against that. We just end up hearing more and more about it, and it seems like it's something that we will see